Hello, everyone. I hope you all are doing very well. Welcome to yet another edition of discussion on the Indian Express dated 22nd of July 2022. And I'm back again with some of the major articles from the newspaper. So, from page number 3 and 10, GS2 Polity and Governance. Now, the biggest headline for the day as Mrs. Draupadi Murmu won the presidential election. So, the first tribal woman to be elected to the highest post in the country. Now, Mrs. Murmu was the former governor of Jharkhand and she won by securing 64% of the total votes polled. From this article, you have to know how does India choose its president? How is the voting conducted? What is the weightage assigned? India's constitutional history of 7 decades and also what are the future prospects. Alright, moving further on page number 3 from GS2 Polity and Governance. Supreme Court allows abortion at 24 weeks. Can't deny it to unmarried women. So the Supreme Court on Thursday allowed an unmarried woman whose relationship status changed during the pregnancy to terminate her 24-week fetus. From this article, you have to know about the abortion law in India. What are the judicial interventions in the cases of abortion? What are criticisms against the abortion law? What is the conclusion and what is the possible scenario ahead? Alright, moving further on page number 7 from GS2 Polity and Governance. No proposal to increase Supreme Court, High Court judges' retirement age, says the government. So as you can see, Kiren Rijiju, the Union Minister of Law and Justice in Rajya Sabha, said on Thursday that there is no proposal to increase the retirement age of the Supreme Court and the High Court judges. Now, according to Article 124, Clause 2 of the Constitution, the age of retirement of the Supreme Court judges is 65 as of now. And as per Article 217, Clause 1 of the Constitution, the High Court judges retire at the age of 62. So initially the retirement age of the High Court judges was 60, which was later in 1963 increased to 62 through the 114th Constitutional Amendment Act. Okay, so you can know about the articles and the related amendments to this. From this article, you have to know what is the origin of the idea of increasing the age of retirement for judges. Is it really needed? What are the constitutional provisions associated with it? Alright, moving further on page number 7 itself from GS2 Polity and Governance. Centre rejects Press Freedom Index report, questions the methodology. Now, this report described India as one of the world's most dangerous countries for media. And these conclusions were drawn by the Reporters Without Borders in the World Press Freedom Index, which ranked India at 150 among the 180 nations in the 2022 report. From this report, you have to know what are the findings of the World Press Freedom Index in the context of India and what is the response of the government. Moving further on page number 9 from GS2 Polity and Governance again, another article that is headlined as Inform if States, Union Territories complying to curb hate speech, Supreme Court to the Centre. So from this article, first of all, you have to know what is the hate speech, what are the reasons of giving hate speeches, the provisions regarding hate speech, and what are the various committees constituted and their views and what is the possible scenario ahead. Alright, moving further on page number 10 from GS3 Economy section, the article talks about the Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code. So the article is headlined as Hurdles to Resolution and it is written by Mr. Pratik Datta. From this article, you have to know what is the Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code, what are its features, aims and objectives, what are the criticism and challenges associated with it, the recent Supreme Court judgment on the Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code, what are its repercussions, and further on, what is the possible scenario ahead. Moving further on page number 11 from GS2 Polity and Governance, another article headlined as A Mixed Bag of Freebies. So Prime Minister's comment on the Revdi culture raises questions, how to define freebies, how make distinction between merit and unwarranted subsidies. From this article, you have to know how to define freebies, how to make distinction between merit subsidies and unwarranted subsidies, what are the problems with freebies and suggest the ways to handle them. Alright. Again from page number 11 GS3 Environment section, article is headlined as A Half-Hearted Ban. So this article talks about the ban on the single-use plastic. As the Union government has banned identified single-use plastic as mandated by the Plastic Waste Management Rule 2021. So the article says, to combat plastic pollution, consumer goods packaging must be targeted, as this ban would target only 2 to 3% of the total plastic produced. In fact, the bulk of the problem can be traced to the plastic packaging of fast-moving consumer goods, says the article. From this article, you have to know what is the single-use plastic, the legislation involved, the Union government's decision to ban the identified single-use plastic, what are the implementation status and issues linked to it, and what is the possible scenario ahead. Moving further on page number 15 from GS1 Geography, article is headlined as Kali Bein, Why It Matters and Efforts to Clean It. So Kali Bein is a holy river in Sultanpur Lodi, and it is a 165-kilometer long river which starts from Hoshiarpur in Punjab and runs across four districts. Afterwards, it merges with Beas and Satluj in Kapurthala. From this article, you have to know what is the Kali Bein, how did the cleaning project start, what is its status. Moving further on page number 15, interesting article headlined as Hasta vista. So the outgoing UK Prime Minister signed off with this phrase saying Hasta vista before walking out of the House of Commons. So it was said by Arnold Schwarzenegger in the movie Terminator, which was released in the year 1991. This phrase literally translates to until the view, and it is a Spanish farewell term that means see you later or goodbye. From this article, you have to know what this phrase means, Hasta la vista. Okay, with this, we call it a wrap of today's edition of Headlines of the Day. I hope you liked the video. I will see you with some other video. Till then, take care and do stay tuned.